Welcome to the Talk podcast with ideas strategist Linda Reed-Enever. Talk is where we chat about ideas and inspiration you can use to market your business. Get ready for practical tips you can implement today with your host, Linda Reed-Enever.
Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever, and welcome back to the Talk podcast. In this episode, we're going to take the most popular questions I get asked about blogging and I'm going to answer them for you. This episode is designed to help you get through the barriers that you might have in starting a business blog or even optimizing the blog that you've got out there. Now, blogging is an incredible tool when it comes to creating content for our business. It allows us to educate our market, it allows us to connect with our market, and it allows us to have a personalized magazine that allows us to connect with our customers on our website. Blogging also has some major superpowers when it comes from SEO points of view. So if we're writing around our keywords and our topics, then that's going to be really huge in being able to connect with our audience. So let's delve into those questions that I am most commonly asked about blogging and answer them so that you can have them answered if they've been in the back of your head or use these strategies within your blogging journey along the way. So one of the first questions I get asked is, what is the purpose of a blogging campaign? A blogging campaign, or what is a blogging campaign? A blog campaign is a series of posts that you make in order to promote the business or your knowledge. You publish regularly and you publish these updates on your blogs. They then create the relationship with your customers. They help you generate leads because you might have opt-ins in place. They also help you from search engine point of view, but they allow the customer to keep coming back to your website. And that's what we want to do. We want them coming back to your website so that they find that new product, that new service, that new workshop, or whatever you're looking at running. The next question that I get asked is, how do I start? Now, the first starting blogging campaign is to come up with a goal. So what do we want the content to be? How often are we going to put it out there? Okay, then that goal is, do we want the blog post, and what's the goal of the blog post? And we delve into this more in the Blogging for Business course. What's the goal of the blog post that we're going to do? And you'll have a couple of goals for your blog posts. So it'll be things like, book a discovery call, buy a product, build authority, get them to turn to a website, download an opt-in. These are all goals that you will have for your blogging journey. And then what type of tone do you want to use? I like to use a positive, encouraging tone. Some businesses like to use a professional tone, but they're the components of starting your blogging campaign. So what tools do you need to start a blog? Now, tools to start a blogging campaign are as simple as using a WordPress.org or a Blogspot account, or if you've got a WordPress website, putting it on your website, people like Squarespace, Wix. Most of these guys now have blogging platforms in it. So if you've got a website, look at the opportunity of being able to build a blog into your website. You might use tools like Google AdWords to be able to do a bit of research, or tools like Answer the Public to help you find the right people out there. If you're a little bit stuck for how to come up with content ideas, there are tools which are AI writers. You don't use them to write your whole campaign, but there are tools out there like Brainwork that will help you create a structure for that blog post that you're looking at writing. And then you can fill in the blanks, and that helps as well if you're stuck and you're just not sure what to write. Now, what content should I write about? The content that you write on your blog should relate to your clients. It could be instructional stuff on how to use your product or service. It could be the questions that they ask before they work with you. It could be your most frequently asked questions. The best thing you can do with your blog is to educate and empower your customer to either use your service, book with you, or use your product, okay? You want to have content that will appeal to them. So think of things like your top 10 tips, your top 5 strategies, look at your FAQs, look at the questions that your people are being asked about on a regular basis. The content you should write about should have usefulness to your audience. Your website's there to promote you. You will promote the opt-in, or you might promote what's coming in next, but it should support the service offering of your business. How often should I post content to my blog? Oh, I love this question. It is a how long is a piece of string question. However, it depends on what time you have. It includes the scope of your business. If you've got an amazing, talented team of writers, you might be able to get a post or two out a week. But generally, if we can get a post out once a month, then that means we're providing new content out for our audience. And just remember, blog posts don't always have to be written. Some of them can be episodes like a podcast. You look at using videos. You just want to make sure that you're touching base regularly. My rule of thumb is if we can touch base with our clients on our blogs 3 times a month, then we're doing well. And bearing in mind that as you start to blog, you might look at guest blogging as well. So you want to make sure that you don't spread yourself too thin and say, I'm going to write 7 posts a week for my site and then have no time for the guest blogging, because getting in front of others' audiences is a very successful part of blogging campaigns as well. The next question I get asked is, how do you write effective blog posts? One of the most important factors in writing a blog post campaign is making sure you have your content effectively. So make sure that you use things like bullet points, you introduce the topic, you don't assume that people know anything, and that it's easy to read. Use images where you can to create a visual connection between the text that you're generating, because that really helps the mind. And also just making sure that you are consistently showing up. So introductory paragraph is a good one. And in Blogging for Business, we have the full structure in there. Or if you've got a marketing plan, we've got the full structure in there. If you've got other posts, cross-link to it. If you've got products, cross-link to it. But use some dot points, use your headings. So use those headings not only from the point of view it makes it easier to read, but it also helps Google index what's important. So use the heading 2s, the heading 3s within your blogs. And make sure that you are explaining. Keep your blogs free of jargon. They are my key tips for writing an effective blog post. And remember, it's a skill. You will learn it over time. So no one's perfect at writing blogs. Not even my copywriting team are perfect at writing blogs each and every time. How do we generate traffic to that blog? Well, we've created the blog and we want to be able to make sure that we generate traffic. One of the key things is making sure that you've done your search engine optimization. We use a tool in-house called Rank Math that allows us to make sure that we've got the right keywords, we've optimized the images, we've got the categories, we're using the categories. That's really important. Use your categories, that's part of your keywords. And then we make sure we share that blog post. And we share it via social media marketing, via our newsletters, via helping people within Facebook groups, answering questions in places like Quora, Reddit, all of those places, and then bringing them to the traffic, bringing them to the website to get the further explanation on how we've helped someone. The next one is, how do you promote your blog on social media? Now, social media is one of the most popular ways to attract new followers to your latest blog post. So one of the key things that we do is we do an RSS publication directly to the social media platform. So we use a tool called Zapier to publish directly to Facebook, to LinkedIn, wherever a new blog post goes live. We then make sure that we have our blog post RSS feed go into 2 tools. Now, we use 2 tools because we choose to, but you don't have to. One is called Reed-Enever and the other is Missing Letter. And what we do then is we make sure that we've got posts going out on a regular basis. Now, Reed-Enever will draw on a social media campaign again and again and again. So if you've written a good evergreen blog post, it'll come back again and again and again for the people to be able to connect with. Otherwise, Missing Letter will create 9 posts for your blogs. The other reason we use Missing Letter is Missing Letter's curate feature is amazing. It allows us to have our content shared by other people using curate and allows us to be able to connect with them along that way. And then the other question is, how do we use email marketing to boost our blog traffic? Now, email marketing, if we're sending a newsletter on a regular basis through to our client and you're using tools like MailerLite or MailChimp, you'll be able to bring in a blog RSS feed directly into your newsletter template. And you should be doing that. And that just gives a little bit of an excerpt, the image, and a key summary to your audience about what's going through with your blog. But you might use an email marketing campaign to take a series of blog posts and run a challenge. And so you might do it that way, or you might drop in a few tips along the way that would help connect people. But email marketing to boost your blog is about letting people know that it's there, popping your blog link to the latest post on your email signature, sending updates to particular clients that might benefit from that latest blog post, and personalizing the campaign. It's about making sure that the blog reaches the people it was intended for. Now, what sort of advertising should you use for your blog? Now, I'm a big organic girl. However, if I've got a blog that I want to have some high amount of traffic to, and I quite often reserve this for podcast episodes and videos now, I will use things either like Google AdWords to promote it, a Facebook ad, or a Twitter ad, or a LinkedIn ad to be able to connect through to my people. The thing when we go into ad campaigns is we need to make sure we've got all our organic stuff working first. We need to make sure we've got all the optimization and the SEO so that we benefit from that ad campaign. So you want to make sure that your images are great, your keywords are great, people can opt into your newsletter, and you've got everything else before you start sending traffic. So you want to make sure that down the bottom of your blog post, you've got your email opt-ins and all of those things. Now, what should I do if my website or my blog traffic goes down is the next one. And people ask me that. They say, I don't like the statistics in my blog. My traffic's gone down. I don't feel like I'm getting enough traffic. The one thing that I want to say to you, traffic ebbs and flows on the internet no matter what time of year it is. It will ebb and flow. But then there are times in year where Christmas or school holidays pop up and people just aren't there. We've also possibly got to look at if our traffic's gone down, how consistently have we blogged? Have we optimized? Have we done all those things that we need to do? And the other thing that we need to have a look at is what's going on in the world, because sometimes there's something going on in the world that just sees our traffic go down. If our traffic consistently drops on a regular basis, then maybe we've gone off message. And that's maybe when we have to look at reviewing where we are. And the other one is, this is one when people start out, people say, I don't like the statistics that I'm seeing in my blog. I don't know how many people are looking at my blog. I don't think I'm getting enough. Now, remember, you would pay a huge amount to be in front of an audience about, well, maybe not pay a huge amount, but if you run a workshop for 10 people, you would, be paying for rooms, paying for functions. If your blog is reaching 100 people or 20 or 30 people, then that's good. We want good, engaged, and connected people reading our content, not thousands of people reading our content and not taking any action from it. And the final question that I get asked is, how do I measure my blogging success? Like with all marketing, your blogging success comes down to if we're consistently doing it, we're getting inquiries, we're asking our people how did they find us, and looking at our Google Analytics insights and seeing how it goes. Because our marketing mix comes through to how many sales are we getting, how many comments are we getting on maybe on the blog post, how many inquiries are we getting. They're the things that measure our success, but they're all part of a mix. So it's about making sure that our activity is generated and helping people being able to find us. So my key factors for measuring the statistics of the blog are looking at my Google Search Console, seeing if I'm ranking for the right keywords, making sure that we are still attracting more traffic to our website each month, and making sure that the top performing blog posts that work well for in Google Search Console are the ones that we write more content about. So there you go. There are my most popular questions when it comes to blogging. If you've got a question about blogging, please ask me. I will happily come back and do another episode on this. I'd happily like to ask it. If you are looking for more blogging tips, there is the Blogspiration deck, and there is also the Blogging for Business e-course that you are able to enroll in. Or if you really want to dive in deep into the world of marketing with me, then come and join us in the Marketing Circle. We would love to see you there.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talk with Linda Reed-Enever. Make sure you subscribe via your favourite podcast app so you don't miss the next great episode. You can find more ideas and inspiration at lindareedenever.com.au.